Well, hello, Clarice. Because that is the topic of this quick video, is my reaction to the first episode of Clarice. The best way to summarize my response based on just this one episode is hope. I'm a very, very big fan of the whole Silence of the Lambs and Lecter, saga. Some of it not as much as others. I think there's no denying that the original Silence of the Lambs, that film from like 1990, was easily one of the best films ever made. It had so much influence in pop culture, and you can't top the performances in that movie of Anthony Hopkins as Lecter or of Jodie Foster as Clarice. Julianne Moore could sure tell you that. But I'm very intrigued by the direction that this show is going. Rebecca Breeds, she's got some pretty big shoes to try to fill. So it remains to be seen how good a job she does. I mean, I can't judge that based off just this one episode, but visually, I definitely like what they're doing. They seem to be taking some hints from the show Hannibal, which I am a huge fan of. I still can't believe we didn't get that last season. And just a little side rant here, the true proper ending, IMO, even though I know Grannable has a huge fan following, the true proper ending should have been Mads Mikkelsen as Lecter reincarcerated. Dr. Ilana Bloom visits him and tells him there's a woman from the FBI asking to speak to you, and Mads flashes that little smirk of his and says, "What's her name?" That should have been the true ending if we weren't going to get that additional season. But I do digress, back to topic. Yeah, visually they seem to be taking some hints from Hannibal, but I certainly hope they don't go that direction. Especially, I don't want them to get too graphic with this. The original Silence of the Lambs had a few moments of pretty bloody action, but for the most part it was all about the psychological drama. So I would like to see them stick to that for this, because again, it's about Starling. It's not about the character of Lecter. And in point of fact, I'm hoping they mostly keep Lecter out of it. They're probably going to be tempted to bring him in at some point, which outside of meaning we have to recast the role again, and I think it's already had its best performances. I think that would just be a mistake. Keep it about Starling. And I really do appreciate how they're going the route of showing us Starling dealing with her trauma from her encounter with Buffalo Bill. Because really, even Thomas Harris, the author himself, kind of glossed over that when we went from Silence of the Lambs to Hannibal. And I certainly hope they don't fall into the traps that Thomas Harris did with the other books and with the films that followed. I mean, in Silence of the Lambs, they definitely touch on Starling having an uphill struggle as a woman getting ahead in the FBI, how people underestimate her because of her looks, because of her southern accent. It's a good thing to go that route, but don't start clubbing us over the head with it, okay? Don't have every man want to get in their pants like they did in the movie Hannibal. And in point of fact, the way they're going with the character Paul Krendler is much better. It fits for that. Spoiler alert here, folks, okay? I'm going to give a little bit from the books out. In the books and in the film, Krendler is an FBI administrator working on the senator's missing daughter case, and he has a few brushes with Starling. She causes him some embarrassment, and he holds a grudge. And a whole point in the book and movie Hannibal is that the reason Starling's fall from grace hits as hard as it does is because Krendler had been waiting in the wings for years looking for his chance to finally get back at her. So I like that they're going that route, but I hope they're not going to, again, devolve it into he resents her because he desires her. And just to retouch on the character of Lecter, the very most I would want them to do with him for this would be voiceovers. That Starling has occasional memories of her conversations with Lecter that haunt her at various points throughout the show. And the same with her mentor, Jack Crawford. He should play a bigger role in this, but primarily it should be about her memories of his advice as she tries to move on from her trauma and get on with her life. And I do like the route they're also going of how she's becoming more of a veteran now, okay? She's been to that really dark place, which makes her more valuable to the FBI, despite whatever controversy they may attach to her, whatever resentment others have for her. They do have to turn to her because she knows how to go there and she's not afraid of it now. I would actually also be kind of curious if they're going to try recasting Buffalo Bill, because I don't think there's, any beating that performance, but it would be kind of cool if they do occasional flashbacks of Starling's encounter with him, just haunting her, total PTSD. So based off just this one episode, I'm very hopeful. You know, I try not to get my hopes too high because I've been so disappointed by so many things in the past. But this looks promising. You know, only time can tell. And certainly I hope it doesn't go the route of like The Exorcist or Sleepy Hollow or so many other shows that they start out strong, but then just because they get a little muddled in a second or third season, then they get canceled outright. Give it a chance, for God's sake. So anyhow, to wrap this up, as always, folks, you know, take your precautions, wear your gloves, you know, wear your mask, wash your hands, you know, just look out for each other. We got to. You know, it's still going to get worse before it gets better. I think it will get better, but only if we look out for each other. So eat, drink, and be scary, and I'll see you next time.